part 2. Now we're walking back to Halifax. Now the time is 4:47 p.m. So it's a 35-minute walk with my camera just because I'm walking a bit slower than usual. And if you can see way off in the distance, you can see the McDonald Bridge. So we're basically almost a 45-minute walk to that thing. Yeah, we're pretty far out now. I would take the ferry back, but I don't have bus money, so, well, I just want to do a full-time walk of this park trail. And taking the ferry will not do anything with my Fitbit right now. Even though I'll get to downtown Halifax faster. I'm just like, yeah, I'm pretty far out now. And here's a glimpse of downtown. So we can kind of see the views, which is like 34 stories tall. You can see the building where St. Mary's University is. In the 6389 Coburg Road building. I don't know what that building is called. In the container terminal in George's Island. So basically you'd be in the south end from Halifax if you were this far out. And now we're going to be walking in the opposite direction. Now because this is going to be a 2-part video clip, I'm going to edit one of these at a time, save it, work on the other one, save it, and then just jam it all together. As I did the Halifax one, that's going to be the easiest thing because that's only 47 minutes long. And then I had to go home and feed my cat. And then I just said, you know what? Why not come out here? I was just thinking of that in my head. I was going to do it that Thursday where I did all the 6, but this would have been the longest part. And I just said, you know what? Do it another day. So guess what? We're doing it now. And this is like a total of 3-kilometer long trail. So now we're going back to the ferry terminal, back to Alderney. And yeah, that's basically it. So basically, if you were in Halifax walking on that waterfront, you'd be able to see straight ahead the Woodside Ferry Terminal, and you'd be right at the farmers market. And the walk to the bridge from there would be about, like, let's say between 30 to 40 minutes. Wait, no, 40 minutes, I should say. Because it's about like 15 to 20 minutes to walk to the Marriott. In the Marriott, you're like halfway to the bridge. Because I timed it before from the Marriott to the bridge, and that's 20 minutes, so yeah. I should have said 35 to 40 minutes. Now we're in some shade areas. I do apologize if this is a really long video than my other one, but you don't have to watch the whole thing. If you're feeling like you're losing interest, I'm fine with this. Because it is a fairly long trail. I was going to walk the Chain of Lake trails, but if I want, I can just do it as a speed time lapse, because that's like 7 kilometers long. From one side to the other, then double it would be 14. So it's really long. Because I can see the McDonald Bridge all the way this far, and it's going to be quite a walk to get back there. I mean, this is good for me though. And it's fun too, getting out of the city and exploring different parts. And you can kind of see the 99 Wise Road building. Yeah, that building is in a spot where you can see everywhere. And it has a pretty good view, especially if you're at the top floor. And you're pretty much in downtown Dartmouth. I made up to 11 gigabytes of storage, so I should be good without needing to pull out my iPad. Still in my backpack, I haven't touched it. Yeah, this is definitely going to be one of the longest walks. What I'll probably do is work on both of those, get those posted to YouTube. I'll probably get this one posted for either tomorrow or Friday. Because this is definitely a long one. This is definitely going to be over an hour if I jam this in one piece. All these two parts into a single piece, this is definitely going to go over an hour. But what really sucks is that my DJI app only lets me edit videos if it's an hour or less. The video has to be like less than an hour. Which I don't think is true. I think they should have made it longer, because I can make long videos sometimes for you guys. Trying to think, what can we have for supper tonight? I did make some mashed potatoes for lunch, but what can we have good for supper? Probably once I finish this, probably ride the big escalator, give my legs a little rest, because this is quite a long walking trail. The chain of lake trails is twice as big as this, because that goes like up to 7 kilometers long. Takes you all the way past Bears Lake, and I'm saying, like, yeah, that's pretty far out. And eventually you'll get past the St. Margaret's Bay Animal Hospital, which is the equivalent, like, over 27 kilometers, somewhat, 25 to 27. But the problem is, walking trails don't have any stalls. Like, I think they should put some in. But luckily the ferry terminals always have restrooms for people when they need to use, you know. And the problem is when I get to King Street and Wharf Place at Alderney Drive, I got to set that red light. And sometimes I feel like I have to sit at it for almost a full minute. And I can always clip that off. Because you probably don't need to see me standing there doing nothing. Except holding the camera. That's what I'm going to start doing if I'm going to be sitting at so many red lights. Either just put the camera away or just cut off some pieces. Because that can be kind of tedious, trying to get through that thing with the camera on. Especially when pedestrians cross, you know, you get the walk sign and then you got the hand flashing that can be like 20 or 25 seconds long, depends. Sometimes it goes up to 30. Trying to give my arm a rest. Yeah, it's stinking warm out here. I think I'm gonna be taking a shower tonight. Yeah, I'm gonna be gross and sweaty when I get home. I don't know how long I was walking for. Well, with this right now, this is part 2 I'm filming. And I'm already at 12 minutes with that. No, I'm not walking all the way to the bridge with this thing. I'm just going to stop it at the ferry terminal. If that's what you're asking. I already filmed the bridge back on Thursday. I was gonna take a shower yesterday to cool off because I was with my friend. Sometimes I was sitting in that heat and I was like, phew, I was ready to burn a sweat out. Heck, I swear I can get really sweaty. Yeah, we're about another 20 minutes to go on this thing. Once we get to Alderney, I'll step inside the building, cool off a bit, because it is, well, I got the sun right almost in my face, and it's just making me sweat a little bit. Thankfully, when I get home, I'm going to be getting a big drink of water. Well, I'm going to need a bottle of water when I get home. It's just too damn hot. If it wasn't this hot, I wouldn't have been so bad. I'm just glad my camera is not overheating right now. Because if my camera overheated, that would have been a big problem for me. Because, you know, when you see devices overheating, you know, you'll see a temperature sign telling you that you can't use the device for a little bit. Well, luckily my iPad's in my backpack, you know, I can use that. That's just my backup camera. I still have my iPhone 5S, but that's not too much with gigabytes of storage. There's only 16 of them. That's also another one of my backup phones, but I don't use the 5S too often now. Oh yeah, cyclists have to make a bell sound or call on your left with pedestrians walking. Oh, shade. Thank goodness for that. Whew, it is hot out here.
Want more water?
Not getting too far down to the ferry terminal, probably about another 15 minutes. Stay on trail. Yes, we will obey your rules. Well, this is like a little apartment building there, but the parking lot is private property, so that's why they're saying, like, stay on the trail. And we were just there not too long ago. Yeah, this is definitely the long video. I think I might just divide this into 2 pieces, just because this is a long one. I think that might be a better idea, just instead of putting it all in one. I'm just kind of thinking of that right now to myself, like, what should I do? Because it's 30 minutes to get from one side to another with the ferry terminals. And if I walk all the way to the downtown Halifax ferry terminal from there, ooh, that would take a good while. Take me almost an hour and a half. And if I did the whole thing, that would be 3 hours of filming. Yeah, that'd be 3 hours of recording. That would be a lot. So we... about another 12-13 minutes. The only thing that takes the longest is because there's that red light you gotta sit at, and sometimes when the light changes green and you don't push the button, you don't get the walk sign. And that just really adds time. Definitely a good trail to walk on. Like, the long trails to walk on can be good for your step counters if you have a watch that counts steps, or if you have a cell phone that has a step counter built on the device. Okay, I gotta move out of the way because GMC driver's getting through. Thank goodness we're not too far now from Alderney. Oh, I'm gonna let her go through. Yep, back with the zigzag turns. Once again. Oh, thank goodness it's getting breezy now. It was hot earlier. Once that sun goes behind the clouds, it gets nice and cool. Like air conditioning, maybe? Yeah, we should be at the Alderney Terminal in like 10 minutes or so. We're not too far. Because looking at my watch, it's already 5:10. So we've been out for a while. Yeah, so I think instead of jamming this video in one piece, I think we're just gonna separate it. We could just call it like part 1, which was going to Alderney to Woodside, and then part 2 going from Woodside to Alderney. Because if I just post this all in one piece, that's gonna be this whole thing is gonna be over an hour long. And I don't really do 1 hour video walks. There's the mural again. Really apologize if my camera kind of feels shaken. Give you some dance movement. Okay, we are really getting close to the ferry terminal. Because if I'm just gonna walk, because the walk to the bridge from Alderney, that's only like 8 minutes long, so like 6 to 8 minutes, so it's not that far. I'm just not telling you where I live though, so I'll tell you where the bridge is though, that's no problem. So we are really getting into downtown Dartmouth now, because guess what street we're coming up to now? We are coming up to Canal Street. And that goes, I think, east to west, I don't know. Yes, I just came here Thursday afternoon, and 6 days of that was fast. It was like extremely fast. Oh yes, now we're coming up to that stupid stinky light where you gotta sit at the red light. I'll just edit those out, guys, so I'll just cut those parts out so you don't have to worry about watching those, because it's just tedious of all that sitting down you gotta do there. And you probably don't need to see that, do you? Yeah, I kind of thought so. And we're definitely gonna be there in less than 10 minutes, because we're almost at the 30-minute mark. This is just because it's going to be a 2-video piece. I'll just show you what the canal looks like. There. I am not putting this all in one piece, that's for sure. What I'll just do is go home, edit them, and just schedule for the upload. Yeah, sign says cross that intersection. Yeah, I might just have to I'll still film it here, but I'm just gonna have to cut that piece out with the red light, you know. You'll see why, because I think that lady is gonna cross the street. Typically you are supposed to cross at the intersection, and you're not supposed to like walk along there. I know some people do it like they just don't care, but I always cross at the intersection. And that's the best way to do things. Yeah, look, just past 30 minutes, so yeah, this is gonna be a two-parter. Because this would have been over now 1 hour if this was in one piece. And thank goodness we're not too far now. We're like less than 5 minutes to walk. So I have 3 videos to edit. But I'll just schedule them. Look at the breeze now. I'm not complaining now. So basically we've walked 30 minutes from one ferry terminal to another. So we just basically made a big circle. Alright guys, I don't know what just happened there. I was literally recording and it just literally stopped and took me back to the home screen. I was not pressing any buttons. I was almost at a full charge with my phone because I had disconnected. And I had 1.8 gigs available. And I don't know why I was doing that. It was just being a little bit of a bad one. But we're not too far from the end now, guys, so... we're still on the part 2. This is not a part 3. It just, for some reason, it just knocked... I don't know what happened. Thankfully, my video is saved, but... now we're back into downtown Dartmouth. Thank goodness for that. Yeah, I've had this connected to power the whole time I was recording this, so I'm like almost at 100%. Alright guys, we're gonna sign off here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one coming up.